Welcome. I'm the Parliament Raven. Welcome. Pull up a seat, pour yourself a cup of tea. My name's Jason Rodriguez, and I'm the Parliament Raven. And today's episode is called Expectations and Apologies. And we're going to talk about apologies in the sense of someone apologizing to you and the expectations you place upon them probably before and after. I bring this up because I was thinking about past apologies in my life that have had some decent impacts and some that don't, and what that means and how to look at them to progress as someone on a quest and journey. And it's something that we're not really taught anymore. I know back in the day, there were definitely some after school specials, definitely some cartoons that addressed apologies and their effects and what they do, but definitely not the same as it used to be. So let's get deep into this. Let's dive first into the types of apologies that there are. There's technically about 3 types, and I've given them the names of a character apology, apology of reconciliation, and an apology of manipulation. And character apology is pretty simple. Character apology is when someone is apologizing to you, and that apology is then backed up with a change in lifestyle. You definitely see that in the story of Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, where he changes his ways. He apologizes to the Christmas spirits. For me, I definitely had an experience like that with my friend Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson went to high school with me. We were in marching band together. And he was part of a group of people that just picked on me. Later on in life, me and Jared actually became friends. And one time after a major creative production at church, Jared was with a group of people and me at the old restaurant Claim Jumpers. If you've been there, you know. If you haven't, most of them are closed, if not all of them. I guess the potato cheddar soup wasn't good enough. But Jared apologized to me in front of everybody there for picking on me, and definitely a moment of humility for him and of recompense for me and affirmation. But Jared's life had already changed. There was this character behind it that he wasn't the same guy who tormented me in high school. Definitely had made some massive changes in his life, and it was amazing. And we would hope that a lot of the apologies we get would be that, the apologies where somebody apologizes and then it's backed up by changing. There's also apologies of reconciliation, and that might not have any change to the person or the dynamic of a relationship. Maybe it's you've butted heads with somebody over and over and over again. Maybe it's an apology between you and your sibling. But an apology of reconciliation is looking to mend a broken relationship. It happens a lot in marriages. We do something that the other person in the marriage does not like, or we hurt them and we didn't intend to. And it didn't have anything to do with the characteristic. It was just an unintentional hurt or slight. And there's definitely an apology that comes from that in order to reconcile and smooth things. And sometimes there's some time needed involved on both sides of that after the apology. I remember one time getting in an argument with my wife, and she immediately apologized, and I needed to go for a walk still and process the emotion. And vice versa. There's been times where I have done something to upset my wife, didn't know it, and then I apologize, and then she needed time to process. And that's healthy. That's good. It's great. The apology that you really got to worry about is the last one, the apology of manipulation. You see a lot of this in the work environment where somebody apologizes to you in order to try to reconcile, and there is no actual. The reason for that is that the person who's apologizing wants to manipulate the situation. They either want to feel better about the situation mentally or emotionally, but really don't care about you. B, they're looking for a reconciliation for their own personal gain. There's really no changing factor behind that apology other than to manipulate you back into what they need you to do. Or 3, it's done for a show to manipulate people around you for other reasons. And that apology is out there a lot, whether it be in social media, whether it be in church, whether it be in work. It happens a lot in order to try to progress forward in things that person who's giving the apology wants to do. Now, is there anything that I would recommend to deal with these situations? For instance, I've been apologized by some religious leaders before in front of a people, and that was right before they called for a tithe and donation to their ministry. And it felt good to be apologized to, but then the characteristics and stuff that didn't follow the apology, there was no change, there was no repentance or turning from the thing that actually caused it. And I don't have any hard feelings about it. It's the way this person is, and still, I can't say still is today. I haven't had a relationship for some time. They've moved away. The distance makes it impossible to keep going with a relationship sometimes. That manipulation apology is something you got to be worrisome for. I know there's something you question, but if you use the act of discernment, the skill of discernment, there's a gifting of it, but there really is a skill to be nurtured there. Definitely Hebrews talks about that we should learn discernment first before we get headily into thicker, more difficult pieces of theology and spirituality. But using discernment to discern the situation, and sometimes you need to back off from an argument or from an event and process first the emotions and stuff so you can have a clear head for discernment. I know that when I'm angry or when I'm looking to reconcile or things, I need time to process and emotionally, mentally, so that I can discern what's actually going on with the apology. Is this relationship being fixed? Is this relationship going forward? Is the bridges burned and the bridge collapsing? So it's in life, it's something that we should look from a very young age. We should probably even start teaching our children to understand these types of apologies and look and discern for them. Definitely a healthy thing to do in a world where social media, internet, and the lack of connectiveness in school and in the world in general is being manicured to be better than it is, or manicured to show certain things that are very unhealthy, right? And a lot of manipulation apologies, you think of somebody who's a sociopath or a psychopath who is manipulating somebody in a relationship with manipulative apologies. I mean, definitely a key tool for a psychopath and sociopath to apologize but not really mean it, or to gaslight a person into doing what they want, or to continue the relationship, whether it be healthy or unhealthy. Same thing with jobs, where it'd be healthy for you to go look for another job or seek another environment that's healthy, and your boss or supervisor uses manipulative apologies to keep you there, and you think it's going to get better and you don't see. And so that's really a challenge in life if you're in that position to discern if that's where you're at. So take a look at some of your relationships. This is the challenge of the week. Take a look at some of your relationships. Try to hone and harness your discernment in focusing on when you get into arguments or things. Has it been healthy? Has it been a apology of character where the person changes, or even for yourself? Have you changed when you're doing it? A reconciliation, an apology where it was unmeant to harm, but there was harm done, and you want to make sure that you know that it was unintended, or that it's not going to happen again because you've learned from that. Or is an apology of manipulation where you're trying to get something, or they're trying to get something from it, or push the relationship into a direction that's profitable for the person giving the apology. That's something you should look and meditate on. It's always good to grow your skills and know these things as you progress. Definitely a key tool for some of my Parliament members who are younger. I'm talking about the Parliament Sparrow, this Parliament Starling, the Parliament Cricket, the Parliament Fox. Either way, Parliament members, this is a good challenge for you as you're growing, you young Parliament members. So, till next time, pour yourself another cup of tea, think on apologies, and I'll see you soon.
Like, subscribe, leave a good comment. Thanks for visiting the Parliament. If you want to know about Gravitas coaching, please visit gravitas.co. It's also where we host the Parliament. Join the conversation on Facebook at the Parliament Raven Podcast. Last but not least, the intro and outro music credits. Intro music by Russ Budgeon and outro music by Sarnav Aravistov.